there, everybody. This is Kevin, and welcome to Bulldog Stadium here in Lafayette, Georgia. I'm here with D. Mackey. D, I appreciate you so much.
No problem at all.
Yeah, I know last time we were over here, you were our guest. I appreciate you doing it again. This is an exciting night. This is one of those games that throw out the record. You know, it's kind of a cliche. Obviously, we got Lafayette and Lynette playing tonight, and it's a kind of a border battle. Two schools separated by, 10, 15 minutes, and beyond that, it's an important game because it's a game kind of like it's not technically a playoff game, but it kind of is. So one team. But first of all, welcome everybody. I appreciate you checking in. And like I said, we're here at Bulldog Stadium for our BTV Sports pregame show tonight, and it's great to be back here in Lafayette for the second time this season. I know they treat us right over here, and it's always a lot of fun. But D, first of all, again, thanks so much for doing this. You are a 2011 graduate of Lafayette, which means your senior year was 2010, and y'all had some good success. And first of all, just tell me about this game. Like I said, it's kind of a community event. By kickoff, obviously both sides are going to be full. Just how much for you when you were here? Just tell me how much fun was this game?
Oh, it was like next level fun.
Yeah.
This was like Alabama versus Auburn for us.
Right.
Like, that's how big the rivalry is.
Yeah.
And, anytime it's a Lafayette versus Lynette,
Yep.
regardless where the home field at, anybody could win,
Right.
And that's exactly how the Auburn and Alabama game is. So that's how important this game is to me today,
Yeah.
I definitely want to win this game. That's bragging rights for a year. So.
No doubt. No doubt. Like I said, it's an important game, too. You look at both of these teams. Lynette comes in 2-5 overall, 1-3 in Region 3 AA, and then Lafayette is 1-5 overall and also 1-3 in the region. So the winner of this game will still have a great chance to make the playoffs. The loser probably is going to be eliminated from playoff contention. So when you add that to the fact that it's a local rivalry, that just kind of adds that much more to it, doesn't it?
Most definitely. I mean, you win this game, it's probably like, 75%
Yep.
chance you make the playoffs?
Yep.
That's just how big it is. And
Yep.
for it to be a rivalry game,
Yep.
that's just the icing on the cake.
No doubt. I went to one of the high schools I went to. It was a smaller school in Georgia. It was a single A school, and it was a smaller stadium, Claxon, Georgia. I'm sure nobody's heard of that. Maybe Claxon Fruitcake, but it was a smaller stadium. And what I loved about that was that on Friday nights, on game nights, the community, the town shut down. And I know that's how it's going to be here. I imagine if people aren't at the game from Lafayette and from Lynette, they're going to be around their radio or somewhere where they can listen to it or watch it. Just tell me how special game nights are here, especially when you play a game like this. But just any night at a community stadium like this, just tell me how special it is.
It's super special, You got the whole city behind you.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
It's like just one big family, pushing you to be great and be
Yeah.
the best you can be.
Yeah.
And not just only, just winning the Lynette game, winning all the games,
Yeah.
It's for some time we've been chasing a championship,
Yeah.
and we've had some great teams. So
Yeah.
the community continues to push us, the kids to be great and to someday be champions.
Yeah, that's the goal for everybody. I know you have such an interesting story. I know we touched on it a little bit last time you were here. Obviously graduated from here and then went to Stillman College, where you were a two-sport athlete, which is hard to do in high school. In college, to me, that's almost impossible to do. You played football and basketball at Stillman College, and keeping up with the academic workload, and I'm sure you're involved with other stuff as well. How challenging was that for you in college?
It was very hard. It was so hard to the point that I only played basketball 1 year.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, it's just the different conditioning phases. You're running on a court versus running on a field. Right. Basketball starts, you lose 20 pounds from when you played football. You got to put the weight on, around the springtime. Right. And it's a super workload. And I graduated 3.2 GPA, so I made pretty decent grades, I'd say. So it was a lot of hard work, a lot of not sleeping. To be honest, a lot of not sleeping, a lot of 4 or 5 hour nights, and then get up and do it all over again.
Right. Well, I didn't play any sports, and I struggle with the academic part of it. I always tell people, you should appreciate students like me, because without students like me, then being in that top half wouldn't mean anything, right? But at Stillman College, it seems like it's a smaller school, too. Obviously, everybody has their preference. Some people, they want to go to the University of Georgia with 50,000 students. For you, was that really kind of your goal, was to go to a smaller school where you could really feel like you were part of the community?
Most definitely. And, you know, definitely with the smaller classes, you know, you can have more focus on you by your professors, you know. Anytime, like, I struggled with anything, you know, I had that luxury of going to my professor after class or, you know, before class starts. He might give me some examples, you know, explain a couple things to, you know, better myself. You know, when you go to, like you said, the big universities like Georgia, Alabama, you don't get that luxury.
Right.
You don't get that luxury. They have 200, 300 students in the classroom. And could you imagine 30 kids want to come to you before or after?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
so that's a plus about small schools. You get that luxury of really connecting, you know, with your peers, you know, your professors, and et cetera.
Yeah, no doubt. Something else we talked about last time you were here was the chance to go play professional football and do it in arena football. I believe you played, I think, for Vermont was one of the teams you played for, and a Carolina team. And I think you played for somebody else too, didn't you?
Well, both was a Carolina team.
Okay.
One was the Energy, one was the Lightning.
Gotcha. And that is that. I love arena football. It's just again, it's so fast paced. It's just you look up, all of a sudden it's kind of like Pac-12 football, right? It's just up and down the field. That must have been just an absolute blast for you to do that.
It definitely was, and don't get me wrong, it was a big change from you know regular football because you go from 11, you know, to eight players, and it's much smaller. It's 50 yards. You got the wall, so opposed to regular football where you know you get proper alignment where you line up in the middle of the field or hash to hash. Now you gotta like shrink your routes, so now you're running a 10-yard dig to 6 yards to 7 yards, a 3-yard, you know, hitch. You know, it was like it was tough at first. When I was in Vermont, I didn't get adjusted to like game 4.
Okay.
And once I did, I went on a spurt. I had 16 touchdowns in 4 games. I had a real big year in Vermont.
That's you watch those games. You mentioned the wall. I mean, you literally get. It's kind of like hockey, right? Where you got a guy checking you into the wall. That's got to be the first time that happens in an arena game. You're like, yeah, this is a little bit different.
Oh, most definitely. And they can throw you over the wall, and like it's no penalty or anything like that. They can bump you, hit you up against the wall. There's no penalties.
Yeah, no doubt. I wanted to ask you, I'm sure when you were in high school, you were team leader. That's something you strive to do. You look at this Lynette team. It's been a struggle at times, and I'm sure when you talk to Coach Williams, he would say you really rely on the team leaders. When you look at this team, how important is it? You know, you have the seniors on this team who've been through so much. The coaches can only do so much. When you get to this point in the season, everything really just kind of has to be player-led, doesn't it?
Yeah, most definitely. And I think you hit the nail on the head. You know, the seniors, you know, the seniority. They've, you know, got the longest tenure on the team, so they've experienced a lot different than the younger kids.
Right.
And, you know, a lot of times, you know, it's hard being a leader. It's not easy to be a leader, you know, to consistently do something over and over and be perfect and be great at it, you know. You know, just, you know, challenging those seniors here tonight, you know, be a leader, pick up your teammate, you know, they jump offside, pat them on the butt, tell them the next play.
Right, and that's going for both teams, obviously.
Definitely.
And the great thing, a rivalry like this, too, for 2 hours or whatever, they're going to get after each other, they're going to knock heads. When it's over, they're going to get out there, meet on the field, they're going to shake hands, they might even like share a prayer together. That's another great thing about a rivalry like this. Yes, it's intense, but the mutual respect is there. A lot of these young people, they grew up together, played rec ball together, maybe went to church together. That's another thing that makes it special, isn't it?
Most definitely, you know, and a lot of Lynette players, Lafayette players, they're family members, you know, like you said,
true.
you know.
Literally family members.
Exactly. And, you know, a lot of, you know, kids are from different areas, but they still family, you know. And that's the biggest thing I say, even though it's a very, very competitive game, at the end of the day, you know, we shake hands, you know, we pray together, and then we move forward.
Yeah, but like I said, during those 2 hours, there aren't any friends on opposing sides.
That's very true. That's very true.
And I know we again, something we touched on last time. At some point, you got to stop playing, unless you're Tom Brady, could probably play till he's 50. But especially a sport like football, it takes such a toll on you. So at some point, you realize that maybe I could keep playing. But was there kind of a moment for you when you realized maybe you woke up one morning and you're getting out of bed, kind of hurt to walk. When the realization hit that, yeah, it's probably time for me to hang up my cleats.
Yeah, and what happened was, I was, mentally telling myself, I'm ready to start a family.
Right.
To start a family, you need to get in a career, know.
Yeah.
So when I came back from playing football in Vermont, they was building a solar facility here in Lafayette.
Yeah.
It's a 79.2 megawatt DC project. And when I was in Vermont, like that's when I very first was introduced to solar.
Right.
My actually roommate Carl Ojolai, his family had solar, and I had the opportunity to go to his house. They had it on top of the house, in the yards, out of the golf course, like the whole nine. I'm like, wow, that's interesting. Hey, what is that? And he's like, yeah, it's solar. And what are the odds to come home and they building one of the biggest solar facilities at the time?
Right.
And I went out there as a temp through Aerotech, and I learned everything in like 6-7 months. And Saul flew down to interview, and they was like, hey, we want you, to stay back. We don't want you to travel. We want you to stay. You're doing a great job. We want you to stay here. So I was a solar technician for around like 2 years. And I was a little skeptical at first, I didn't really have the electrical experience. It was more mechanical. So I jumped into it. They got me all the certifications I need, to be successful. And they flew down again like a year and a half. They was like, hey, we want you to join the PM team. I'm like, most definitely. Like,
it's kind of like college recruiting again, wasn't it?
So I'm like, yeah, most definitely. I'm all for it. And I was supposed to move to San Diego in 2020.
Okay.
But that was around the pandemic time.
Okay.
And at that time, California had the mask mandate. So I wasn't able to move. So I was like our very first virtual worker.
Okay.
And so that was like, if it works, it works. It don't, it don't. So I jumped into it. I tried to learn as much as I could the systems that we was using, like very, very fast, and I did.
Right.
And I sell very well, and they was like, "Hey, Devin, do you want to move out here?" And I'm like, "No." So they was like, "It's okay. Like you can stay where you're at." So I ended up staying here, and I ended up getting promoted again. So I went to our construction side where I am now, where I'm a PM. So now I'm more managing the facility, the budgets, things of that nature. And solar has been a big blessing for me. And I've talked to a lot of kids too, and tell kids it's a new industry, but they have the same jobs that other industries have. So I'm taking upon myself community relations. I'm going out. I'm talking to kids, and actually at the trade school here too. They actually got an event tomorrow. Yes, they have an event tomorrow. We sponsor the trade school, and it's been a great thing.
Right. That is so cool. That's just awesome. I know they kind of use you as a spokesperson too. I've seen you out and about because I can tell the passion you have for it. At the same time too, I know volunteer work, helping out coaching and helping out in the community, that's something that's really important to you as well. I'm sure you love sharing your story, don't you? And you're kind of an example of using sports to kind of further yourself and help out with your education, and that's something that's really important to you, isn't it?
Most definitely, and I always tell people, when you play a sport, you are a student athlete, so you're a student first.
Right.
But what sports teach you is the commitment, the dedication, that focus of pushing through and to be great. And for me, like when I was in the classroom, it was like easy, I just need to be consistent. I need to come every day. I need to do my work. I need to apply myself. I need to go see the professor before class, after class, and show them like, hey, I'm trying to learn it, and I want to learn it, So most definitely.
But it's just so awesome. I'm sure there's probably a point in your life where you're like, I can't wait to get out of Lafayette. And now you're back here. It's funny, and sometimes things are just kind of meant to be, aren't they?
Most definitely. And, I always say God works in mysterious ways. I'm here for a reason, And, and I've been able to touch a lot of kids that came through Lafayette as well, volunteering, coaching, helping them, athletics, academics, etc.
Yeah. It's going to be a fun night. So you got any predictions for tonight?
Lafayette for the win.
There you go. There you go. Just real quick, I want to thank our sponsors, Nissan of LaGrange, our title sponsor, MOES. Welcome to MOES, and Highway 29 Express Lube, Bell Collision Center, and also Valley Monument. And once again, I appreciate you so much for coming on tonight, and enjoy the game. All right.
Definitely will. Appreciate
all right,
it.
Thank you.
Enjoy your favorite burrito or bowl, plus free chips and salsa, all at a great price. We love Mo Mondays. Roll all in to Mo's Southwest Grill.
It's football season, and we're scoring touchdowns here at NISSAN of LaGrange.
Y'all come on down to see us at 1050 Lafayette Parkway.
What's going on, y'all? This is Patrick. I'm over here at NISSAN of LaGrange. I'm one of 2 finance managers. Come on in. We're going to get you approved. We got great rates, great vehicles, great salespeople. We're here to get you done. Let's roll.
Here I am, Quay McQueen down here at NISSAN of LaGrange. Man, you know me in the community. Here we got in 2023. I'm talking about from your Nissan Rogues to your Versas to your Altimas to your Centras. Come down here and see us. We got the best deals in town right now.
All right, hey there, everybody. This is Kevin back here at Bulldog Stadium, so we get ready for a big game between Lafayette and Lynette, and I'm joined by assistant principal at Lafayette, Michael Patil. I appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all having me. I'm excited to sit here with y'all this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a fun game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I went to when I was in high school. I went to a smaller school, and it's just really one of those things. The community kind of shuts down. A game like this is really special when you get two schools, 2 communities that are separated by about 10 minutes, that kind of thing. You've been a part of this this game for quite a while. How much fun is this night? It's really a good time, isn't it?
Oh yeah, when you look at it as a rivalry game,
right.
the kids are cousins and brothers, sisters, and all that. Yeah. So to get together on this night, it don't matter if everybody's 0 whatever or undefeated. It's just an awesome night. Everybody gets together, and you really want to see how it don't matter what it's like. Even like an Auburn Alabama game.
Right. Yep.
You just want to go out there and give everything you got for those bragging rights.
No doubt. It's one of those things too. Obviously, for 2 hours, they're going to get after each other and knock heads. But when it's over, I know the coaches and the players, they'll get out there on the field, they'll huddle together, might even have a little prayer together. That's another thing that makes it special too, isn't it? It's just the mutual respect between these 2 communities.
Absolutely. Like right now, Lynette's got some coaches who actually played here at Lafayette.
Right.
And one of them was one of their junior high coaches, and he was one of my players when I first came to Lafayette.
What's his name?
Quay Boyd.
Okay.
Yeah, so the thing is, we won't care for each other during the next couple of hours, but after that, we'll all shake hands, we'll hug and all that. And so, it's just one of those things is when you're out there on that field, you just take care of what's on there at that point in time, and then you can come back and be friends afterwards.
Right. Yeah, during those 2 hours, there are no friends during the game. It's really cool. My next guest is going to be Coach Clifford Story, which is really cool. He's a Lafayette guy, too, that went on to Lynette, so just so much overlap. Mr. Patil, tell me how long you've been here at Lafayette High School.
This is my 17th year at Lafayette. Okay. I came here in 2007. I'm originally from Notasulga. We went there until I was in the middle school, and then we moved to Auburn, and I graduated from Auburn High. And then I went to Jacksonville State and got my undergrad.
Okay.
While I was at Jacksonville, I started my coaching career at Piedmont, which is up there in North Alabama. I was there for 3 years, and then when I graduated, I moved back home, and I did a year at Russell County, and then I was offered an opportunity to come to Lafayette.
Right.
And as the old saying goes, I've been here ever since.
Well, it's one of those weird things. I came to LaGrange stores in 2002, probably a little bit like you. You get somewhere, and you're never sure how long you're going to be there. Maybe it'll be just another temporary stop. And then you look up, and it's almost been 20 years. And obviously this is a special school and a special community. And, what is it about this place that's really just kind of kept you here all these years?
I guess because, like I said, I was originally from Notasulga. Yeah. Notasulga is a very small town, very much like Lafayette as far as size-wise.
Right.
So the small town atmosphere and the people here, when I first came to Lafayette, they didn't know me. But they brought me in and pretty much made me feel like I was part of their family. And ever since then, anytime we have anything going on, everybody's like, we love Coach P. We love Coach P. But it's because the relationships and the people here, they look out for each other. It's a small town.
Right.
And that's what's kept me here because there's I just love that field.
Right, absolutely. I think you became assistant principal about 3 years ago. Is that right?
This is my 5th year as assistant principal. Originally, I was the assistant principal for 2 years at the high school.
Okay.
Then I did a year at the middle school, and then they brought me back up to the high school. So for this year and last year, I was at the high school. So.
Okay, I know it's tough. Obviously, I'm sure everybody probably still calls you coach.
Oh,
but
yeah.
once you're a coach, you're always a coach.
Once coach, always a coach.
And it is hard to be a full-time coach and to be an assistant principal. probably almost no way you could do that. And I'm sure you look at it, in some ways you're kind of still coaching. You're just doing it in a different way. Is that kind of how you look at it?
Yep. So the first few years, like I said, I still was doing all my coaching stuff.
Wow.
And so, it was late nights every night, which I was used to. But, it was time both my kids are growing up and all that. And my daughter's in the marching band here at Lafayette High. My son's on the football team. Okay. So I wanted to have a chance to be able to watch them a little bit. So I decided, my family had to come a little bit before that. So I stepped away from the football coaching part of it. But my son's always also doing track. So I'm helping with the track team. And so it worked out well, because last year, 2022, we won the state championship for the boys. And he was really excited to be a part of that. So, that was pretty cool to be able to coach my son and be a part of that.
I can't imagine what that would be like. What events did he participate in?
He runs the 800 meter. Yep.
Yeah.
So
that is incredible. That's just got to be a dad's dream, right? To watch that.
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you what, the couple of times I've been out here, I was able to watch the band perform. The energy they bring is really pretty special. One of the things I love about high school football, obviously, it's the football, but the cheerleaders and the band, it's just, it really is. It all kind of works together to make high school football so special, isn't that right?
Oh, yeah, it's all about the Friday night part of it. You sit out there and you hear the band, especially when I was coaching. It was funny because during the summer you'd be working out and doing all the practicing, and you knew it was getting time for the season to get started when you heard the band kicking up there doing their practice, and you hear them coming down the street, come down to the field to practice. So, it's just the whole atmosphere of it.
No doubt. When I talk to coaches, I'm always really curious as to, kind of when they decided to make coaching their profession. For some, they knew when they were young, this is what I'm going to do. For others, it's kind of, they get into college, and then they kind of decide that's what they want to do. When was it for you that you kind of knew that, this is what I want to do with my life?
Kind of as I got ready to graduate from high school.
Okay.
Originally, I was going to be a paramedic.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And as I got a little older, I was playing football in high school. My head football coach was like a second dad.
Okay.
And me and him had some conversations numerous times about life and just the way he would feed into me as far as stuff that he had done over his course, his lifetime. I said, you know what, I like to do it, and I know I'm going to be able to play sports forever, but I could take the knowledge that I had and pass it on and give something to the next generation. And so it was one of those cases of when I decided, when I told him I was going to be a coach, he thought I obeyed his word.
Oh, wow.
And then so the sad part about it was my senior year was his last year. He retired at the end of our senior year. And so right before graduation, about a month or two before graduation, he passed away. And so, his son was one of his assistant coaches. And I went up to the hospital before all that happened. And the thing about it was, he told me that night, he said, you should have seen the look on Dad's face when you told him.
Right.
And so, that's when and then I went to college, and when I started doing all that, I knew I was on the right track. And then since then, like I said, this is year 21 of coaching for me, so I love it.
Do you still hear your dad's voice sometimes? I bet even now, all these years later, you could probably still hear him giving you advice. And
the coach was the one that passed.
Right. I'm sorry, your coach.
Yeah. So I still hear him. Like I said, I can remember those talks. Me and him sitting there talking, and like I said, and it's just amazing to see that grow, and be able to put back into what they gave us. So
absolutely. When I talk to coaches, almost to a person, they get into this profession, they want to win. I'm sure you're as competitive as anybody, but the chance to really impact the lives of young people in a positive way, because they all come from different backgrounds. Some are more challenging than others. As an educator and a coach, that's got to be so satisfying for you. You really get a chance to directly impact the lives of so many young people.
Absolutely. It's funny you just brought that up because when I first started coaching, I was 19, 20 years old. And the thing about it was, some of those kids that were my players that first couple years, I still haven't communicate with. And we were talking about something on Facebook a while back, and one of those players from my first game coaching ever.
Oh my gosh.
I was so hyped up about being out there. I grabbed him by the helmet and I headbutted him and cut my forehead open.
Yeah.
But he remembered that.
Right.
And and those kids come back to you all these years later and say, Coach, I appreciate what you did for me. Yeah, they come from different backgrounds.
Right.
But if you take the time and build those relationships with them, it's so much. I mean, I love winning next to as much as anybody.
Right.
But if I lost every game and I impacted somebody in a positive way and made them a better person, I know I did my job.
That's awesome. I'm glad you mentioned the head buddy. My coaching idol is Irk Russell. That's because I went to Georgia Southern. That was his thing. You get out, he started a game with a bloody head, which you probably got out of that habit pretty quickly.
That was the only time I did that, yeah.
That gets kind of old. I know, and you coached baseball here. You were the head coach for pretty close to 10 years, weren't you?
Yeah, 8 or 9 years, yep. Like I said, when I first came to Lafayette, I just kind of helped out a little bit with baseball. It wasn't, my forte, so to speak. And then the coach that was here left, and the assistant superintendent we had at the time came and asked me, hey, Coach, would you mind being my baseball coach? I said, well, right now I'm going back to school to get my master's degree. I said, I don't have a whole lot of time. I can't do it right now. He said, okay, I understand. He said, but when you get done, if I need a baseball coach, will you consider it? I said, well, when I get done, if you still need one, come see me.
Right.
And he did, and I did. And so I became the baseball coach, and I did that for 8 years. And then it was one of those cases, kind of like what I said about my family. We talked about some things, and I needed to step away from something. But it was God's way of saying, hey, I'm about to make you assistant principal, because a month after I stepped down as a baseball coach is when I got hired to be assistant principal. So it was like him saying, hey, I need this off of you so I can give you this.
Right, things have a tendency to work out, don't they? One of the things I love about baseball, I'm a little bit bummed today, to be honest, because my brain's got beat.
Yeah, me too.
But baseball is an amazing sport to me because it's a sport of failure, consistent failure, and learning how to overcome that and deal with it and shrug off that failure and still come back for the next at bat, or if you commit an error to come back and field the ball the next time. Is that one of the things you really appreciate about that sport?
Absolutely, because we had a game one night. We were playing Reeltown. Of course, at that time, Reeltown was in our area, and so we went down. We were at Reeltown, and we were down 10-0.
Right.
And run rules come into play and all that. Yeah. Well, I told our guys, I said, don't give up. Don't give up.
Right.
I said, one inning and we're back in it.
Right.
One inning, we scored 7 runs. It was 10-7. Now we ended up losing the ball game, but our guys learned that you don't. And I was talking about Quay over here earlier. He was on that team, and I watched the pitcher, and I knew the kid. He was fixing to throw him a curveball. I said, time, and I told him to step out the box. I said, come here. I said, he's fixing to throw a curveball.
Okay.
I said, watch it. When it drops, I want you to turn and open up and hit the snot out of it. And he did. And as soon as it came off the bat, the second baseman turned and looked, because it went. They ain't found the ball yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that, because, like you said, it teaches them how to overcome adversity.
Right.
And in life, that's what these kids don't understand sometimes. Sports are more than just a sport.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a life lesson, because you're not going to always get things the way you want them in life. So you got to learn how to fight against some things when you have a down bad time. So.
Yeah, and when you get that light bulb moment too, so I'm sure some people came into the baseball program, probably had never even played the sport before, and when you see it kind of click for them and they kind of figure it out, maybe they have that one moment, that's got to be so cool as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, because, that was the thing that when I took over the baseball program, we really didn't have a rec program here in Lafayette to really build from baseball-wise. So we didn't have a junior high team either, so all my 7th and 8th graders were playing varsity, so I'm teaching them the basics of that, and trying to get them ready for and so that was the hard part. Once we got everybody used to how we wanted to do things, we started being successful, and we started winning more than we were losing. We never could quite make it to the playoffs, but we were being competitive, and people weren't looking at us like, oh, that's an easy game, we're going to mark that one down as a W. You're going to have to fight. If we came on the field, you're going to have to fight with us to get that W.
Yeah, that is so cool. I don't know about you, Coach, but I look back now, people come up to me, and it's like, hey, you graduated like 5 years ago, right? No, Mr. Kevin, that was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
The years go by quick.
Oh, yeah, and that, I tell people all the time, it's funny because I've been here so long.
Yeah.
The class that graduated in 2020 were my kindergartners my first year here, and I was with them the whole time at elementary school. I was with them at middle school, and I got to be with them at the high school. So I got to see them grow from being 5 years old all the way to being, so they were like my own kids, because I watched them grow up.
Right. It's a special place. I know being an assistant principal, I can't think of many more challenging jobs, and there are probably some nights you get home and it's like, man, I don't know if I can do this, but I'm sure what keeps you coming back, and everybody here at the school, teachers and coaches, is knowing you can make a difference. And I know it's a special school and a special place, and I bet you just can't wait to get to work in the mornings, can you?
Absolutely. The way our community is around us, our faculty, staff, and all that, we like a family. We look out for each other. Something happens in somebody's life, they're calling, they're making sure that if they get, a card together, they just make sure you are part of that family.
Right.
And that, to me, is what it's all about.
Right.
Because if you come to work every day and you don't like what you do, it's miserable.
Right.
And my thing is, so I try to make sure, in my role, to do everything I can to make it as positive on the day, even if you're having a negative day.
Right.
And so,
well, I come from a family of educators, so nothing but respect for what y'all do. Once again, I want to thank our sponsors, Nissan of LaGrange, MOES, Highway 29 Express Lube, Bell Collision Center, and also Valley Monument. Appreciate them so much. And Mr. Coach Patillo, I appreciate it so much.
I appreciate you too.
Thank you for coming on. It's going to be a fun one tonight.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah. I like when I get to talk like that because, you don't get to know somebody.
Enjoy your favorite burrito or bowl, plus free chips and salsa, all at a great price. We love Mo Mondays. Roll all in to Mo's Southwest Grill.
It's football season, and we're scoring touchdowns here at NISSAN of LaGrange.
Y'all come on down to see us at 1050 Lafayette Parkway.
What's going on, y'all? This is Patrick. I'm over here at NISSAN of LaGrange. I'm one of 2 finance managers. Come on in. We're going to get you approved. We got great rates, great vehicles, great salespeople. We're here to get you done. Let's roll.
Here I am, Quay McQueen down here at NISSAN of LaGrange. Man, you know me in the community here. We got in 2023. I'm talking about from your NISSAN Rogues to your Versas to your Optimas to your Centrals. Come down here and see us. We got the best deals in town right now.
All right, hey everybody, this is Kevin back here at Bulldog Stadium. So we get ready for Lynette versus Lafayette. It's going to be an exciting game. I'm joined by Lynette girls basketball coach, Charlie West. I appreciate you coming on so much.
No problem.
First of all, I know basketball season's getting kind of close, isn't it? It's you get to this point, I know official practice is going to start in a couple weeks, but I'm sure it seems to me like it was just yesterday when I was watching you guys lose a really heartbreaker in the state tournament. Now here we are getting ready for a new season. Just tell me how excited everybody is to get out there and get things started.
I mean, it's always excitement, but right now we got girls taking care of business on the volleyball court.
Right,
My whole team plays volleyball.
Wow.
I'm taking care of business out here on the football field, so we keep it prioritized. Right now it's volleyball and football. Basketball season's going to come, so we're just patiently waiting.
That's really cool. So pretty much every basketball player is also on the volleyball team. Is that something, do you really encourage your players to play multiple sports? Do you think that really helps them?
Absolutely. Like, we're a small school, and we have to pull kids from different areas for each other and pull for each other. So I enjoy it.
Right. Having the volleyball team, they've lost once this season. So it's going to be, I'm sure your hope is you want them to be as long as possible, right, before basketball.
Well, the way I just like them breeding success because it carries over to the next sport, and that's the main thing. And school spirit, school pride.
Yep, absolutely. The basketball program, y'all have had such a great run. I know, obviously, the ultimate goal is to be that last team standing, and y'all have come close, I know, but all you just want to put yourself in position kind of year after year. Just how proud are you to see what this program's become? Like I said, I know you want to be that last team standing, but to be there year after year and maintain that level of success, it's really not easy to do, is it?
Oh, no, it's not difficult. It's just it's trying at times because you're dealing with young ladies who come from all different backgrounds and areas of life, and it's really rewarding. Like the program, when I first got it, we were successful when I got the program, but we weren't elite. Now I feel like we're a notch under elite until we get to that final game.
Right. Obviously, Lynette's a special community, a special school, a special place. Obviously, with what you've gone through over these past few years, to be able to be at a school like that and in a community where, it really is a tight-knit group of people, it really is a family. Just how special has that been for you?
Very special. I played here, went to school here. All those 10 and 11 of those guys behind me are related to me.
Yeah.
Girls on the basketball team related to me. So it's all family. Even the ones that aren't related to you biologically, they're related to you by bond.
Right.
So it's just a special place that you don't mind coaching at.
Right, no doubt. And, when you have that last game, of course, it's kind of the cliche, but there's really only one team that's going to be really happy at the end of the season. When you have that last game and you lose a really tough one, it's what is kind of the message to the players? I'm sure you just tell them, I appreciate all you've done, but it's a hard conversation. But I'm sure at that point you just want them to know how special they are and how much they mean to you.
Like I said, the season is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So you go through different phases throughout the season, and at the end, it all comes crashing down all at the same time. You just want to keep the girls encourage them to finish out the school year positively, and the seniors, you want them to go out and do bigger and better things.
Right. Absolutely. It's really cool to me. You went to Lynette High School. A lot of people, wherever they grow up, they can't wait to get out, right? And that tells me how much the Lynette community means to you. But to be able to come back to Lynette and coach, that's got to be really incredibly special for you.
Oh, it's extremely special. I tell the kids all the time, they're walking the same hallways I walk, practicing on the same fields I practiced in. Some of the same teachers. It's awe-inspiring at times.
Yeah, absolutely. From a football standpoint, it's really, you look over the past 10 years or so, even longer than that, the success this program has enjoyed. To watch Lynette football win state championships in 2017, then do it again in 2019. When you were in high school, I don't know if you thought that was something that was even possible for Lynette to do. To see that happen, I can't imagine. What was that moment like for you?
It was very rewarding. Like when I played here, we were a 4A school, so and we went to 2 semifinals my ninth grade year, my senior year, and just watching us hold that big blue trophy, it was very inspiring.
Yeah, no doubt. What was that like playing football here or at Lynette High School? Because I know when I talk to college and professional players, they look back and the best times they ever had were when they were playing high school football. When you look back on those nights, especially, a night like this between two rivals, there really is nothing like high school football, is there?
No, it's nothing like it. Like I said, we were 4A when I played here, so we played Hanley, which was a 4A, Alexandria, T.R. Miller, Auburn High School, Opelika. We play a lot of powerhouses, so it's just one of those things. Every week was a test.
Right.
So and it helps you in all walks of life.
Right.
When you go out for jobs and things like that. The lessons I learned on the football field from my coaches and the basketball court from my coaches carried me through a lot of points in my life.
That's awesome. And how much fun is this game, too? It's obviously, these are two communities that are separated by about 10-minute drive, and it's a rivalry that's gone back a long ways. I think they've been playing for about 50 years. How much fun is this game to be a part of?
Oh, it's extremely fun because it's family. Like, even on the other side of the field, you got people you're related to, people you grew up with your whole life. So it's a rivalry, but at the end of the game, everyone's going to shake hands, hug each other, and you're going to wish them luck the next week. They're going to wish us luck next week.
Yeah, it's a big game for both teams, too. It's honestly, it's not technically a playoff game, but it kind of is. Yeah. It's a game that both teams really have to have if they want to stay in the playoff race. So when you look at this Lynette team, I'm sure you've been out there with them, and they've had some tough games, but do you really kind of get the sense that they've been improving game by game, and hopefully they're going to kind of hit their stride here at the tail end of the season?
Oh, absolutely. We play one of the toughest schedules in 2A.
Right.
When you play a 5A Valley, who's going to make the playoffs, 4A Hanley, who's going to make the playoffs. Highland Home is going to make the playoffs. Reeltown's going to make the playoffs. Right. Laverne's going to make the playoffs. You only play 10 games. There's 5 games against top-ranked teams. So it's a test.
Right.
And year to year, like back in 17 and 19, we knew we were going to eventually have an effect where it was going to fall off a little bit and have to start back building. Yeah. I enjoy the development process of watching the young kids develop and becoming those guys.
Yeah. Absolutely. When you look at this football program, too, obviously what Coach Clifford Story did is incredible. And I know when he stepped down, it was really great for his peace of mind knowing that Coach Siegel was going to be able to step in. And he's somebody that you're very familiar with. He coached here for 10, 11 years. And to have him be able to come in and take over the program and kind of keep that continuity, how big was that?
Oh, it was extremely big. Me and Coach Siegel have been on the coaching staff with each other from day one. From Coach Story's first year. So it wasn't any unfamiliarity with each other. We knew each other. We understood what the program was and what his program means. So it was a great move by Coach Story.
I'm always curious when I talk to coaches, kind of, when they decide that coaching is what they want to do with their lives. And I'm sure for you, it might have come when you were young. It might have come a little later. But just kind of tell me how that journey was for you and when you decided to really go into coaching.
My parents told me I've been a coach my whole life. My dad told me when I was younger and I'd be in the backyard playing with my friends, I couldn't play the game because I was too busy trying to coach them to what they needed to be doing. So, and my high school basketball coach, Thurman Billingsley, he the one who told me. He told me I was going to be a high school coach. Yeah.
Coach Billingsley was your coach. That is so cool. I got to know him when he was the head coach at Troop High School. He came that close to winning a state championship.
Took us to the state championship game.
Wow. How much did, you mentioned a little bit, how much did he impact you as
tremendously. Like, me and his older son, Adrian, we were classmates. So I was always around Coach B. When we were younger kids, he'd invite us around the program. We got to go back in the locker room, practices, everything. A lot of the life lessons I got came from Coach B.
That is so cool. You talk about a Hall of Fame career, what Coach Billingsley's done. And just tell me, too, the chance to, you're competitive, you want to win games, but the chance to really impact the lives of young people as a coach and an educator, is that really what makes this profession so satisfying for you?
Yeah, it's not about the money.
It's not.
No, it's not. So I love it. I mean, I love watching kids come to me not being able to do something, and then when they leave me, they're better than what they were.
Absolutely. Yeah. Obviously, like you mentioned, it's all about volleyball right now, but soon enough, it's going to be basketball season. And when you look ahead to the 2023-2024 season, how excited are you about the possibilities?
I'm always excited. I mean, Lynette's girls basketball program has turned into a program now. So year in and year, I have younger girls coming up to me at the elementary schools and other places saying, "Coach, I can't wait to get to high school." So it's turned into a thing where it's a joy just to go watch basketball now.
Right, no doubt. And obviously the goal is to be there at the end. But to compete at state, well, I think Alabama really does it right as far as setting up the state tournaments and to be able to go to these different venues, play at really large gyms. For your players, that must be really, really cool for them to get that opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. My girls love a challenge. Yeah. That's one thing Coach Story, when he gave me the job, he asked me, he said, "Don't run it like a girls program." He said, "Run it like a boys program." Yeah. So we play the bigger schools. We get up for the big games. Yeah. So my girls venue doesn't mean anything. Right. Court's still the same size, goal's still the same height.
Yep, absolutely. Just tell me, how many years now have you been the girls' coach at Lynette?
This will be my 7th year.
Wow, it probably goes by really quickly, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Because a lot of the girls I'm coaching now, I remember they were in 1st and 2nd grade at elementary school. So,
And when you're building a program, too, how important is it to really, work closely with the middle school, work with, like, the recreation coaches? Because I know when they get to high school, you really want it to be kind of seamless. How important is that to have that relationship?
Man, our RET program does a tremendous job. Right. Mr. Trent McCants over at the RET program. Okay. Yeah. The girls' teams are constantly advancing to the postseason. Right. And I can't say enough about my junior high program. Yeah. Coach Ernest Webb, Tierra McCullough, Aaron Boyd. They haven't lost a game in 4 years.
Is that right?
Yeah, so I got a great feeding program. Yeah. We all work great together. And it's, like I said, program. That's at Lynette, what we try to stress is program with everything we do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure your hope is just keep rolling and hopefully be that last team standing. But as far as this game, what are your thoughts on tonight? I mean, Lynette, it's been hadn't been the season they won, and kind of the same for Lafayette. But I'm sure both teams are going to give it their all, and you just hope to make plays, avoid turnovers, all that cliche stuff, right?
Hey, yeah, just And the most thing about it is getting out to a fast start. In a rivalry game, a lot of times teams that get out to the fastest start usually plays the best.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. What sports, when you were in high school, you played football. Did you play any other sports as well?
I played basketball and I ran track.
Okay, which didn't leave you a whole lot of free time. Tell me, where did you go to college, Coach?
I went to AUM.
Okay, did you play a sport there?
No, I didn't play sports.
Okay. What was that college experience like for you?
Oh, I mean, it was great. Like I said, it was in a city like Montgomery where Friday nights you could pick a stadium and go watch anything you want to watch, or pick a gym and go watch any game you want to go watch. So it was great.
That's awesome. When you graduated, did you come right back to Lynette, or did you have a coaching stop between?
Right to Lynette. Then I was at Lynette for 4 years under Coach Ronnie Sykes.
Okay.
Then I went to Greenville in Georgia to work under Richard Carter, another one of my mentors. He taught me a lot. And then when both of us came back to Lynette.
Yeah, that was so cool to be. Obviously, they had in Greenville, they had a little celebration for Contavious Caldwell Pope. Yeah, you were able to coach him.
Yeah, I coached Kentucky.
Yeah, could you kind of sense at that point, this guy's going to do special things?
Oh yeah, I got him his 10th grade. Yeah, he was a pro. He was a pro at that point.
Yeah.
We were just trying not to mess it up.
Yeah, and to see him go on and not win, not just one, but 2 championships. And beyond that, to see the kind of person he's become too, just a great dad, a great family person. That's got to mean the world to you.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime you watch your young men become grown men, it does something to you, because you feel like a little bit of you helped him become that man.
Yeah. What does Coach Carter mean to you as well? I had the chance to sit down and interview him. Just an incredible coaching legacy he has, and probably you could almost number in the thousands the people he's impacted. Just how much did he mean to you?
I owe probably the majority of my coaching career to Coach Richard Carter. When I went to him, it was at the time of my coaching career. I was about to get out of coaching.
Is that right?
And he came to me. He said, "No, I don't need you to get out of coaching." He said, "Come with me." And he said, "You just need your pilot light relit."
Yeah.
And he relit my pilot. So I owe a lot of my coaching career to him.
There's probably, I'm sure you look back and so many different influences. And that kind of thing. Well, Coach, I really appreciate you jumping on. It's going to be a fun night. Got any predictions for tonight?
Lynette.
There you go.
Enjoy your favorite burrito or bowl, plus free chips and salsa, all at a great price. We love Mo Mondays. Roll all in to Mo's Southwest Grill.
It's football season, and we're scoring touchdowns here at NISSAN of LaGrange.
Y'all come on down to see us at 1050 Lafayette Parkway.
What's going on, y'all? This is Patrick. I'm over here at NISSAN of LaGrange. I'm one of 2 finance managers. Come on in. We're going to get you approved. We got great rates, great vehicles, great salespeople. We're here to get you done. Let's roll.
Here I am, Quay McQueen down here at NISSAN of LaGrange. Man, you know me in the community here. We got in 2023. I'm talking about from your Nissan Rogues to your Versas to your Altimas to your Centras. Come down here and see us. We got the best deals in town right now.
All right, hey everybody, this is Kevin back here at Bulldog Stadium. As you can see behind me, they're out there on the field. We're getting ready. We're about a half hour from game time here as Lynette get ready to face off in a Chambers County rivalry, and it's going to be really fun, and I cannot wait to see how this one comes out. I really wanted to thank our guests tonight. Appreciate them so much. Coach Charlie Williams, the girls coach at Lynette, he was gracious enough to kind of jump in and help us. We needed another guest, and we were thrilled to have him. And also assistant principal here at Lafayette High School, Michael Patillo. Appreciate him so much coming in and helping us out. And also Devin D. Mackey, a Lynette graduate, and it was really awesome of him to come in and help us out. So let's talk a little bit about this game tonight. We haven't really touched on this game too much, but it is a big one. It's a very important game for both teams. Lynette comes in 2-5 overall and 1-3 in Region 3 AA, and Lafayette comes in 1-5 overall and also 1-3 in Region 3 AA. So in essence, this is a playoff game. The winner of this game is still going to have a chance to make the state playoffs. The loser is more than likely eliminated. So it is vital for both teams that they come out and win tonight. And beyond that, as our guests have touched on, it's a rivalry game, so the records don't matter. Playoff implications don't matter. What matters is that it's a rivalry game between two schools that are separated by about 10 minutes. It's a game they've been playing this for more than 50 years now. So it means everything to these schools. It means everything to these communities, to the players, to the coaches. And for these next 2 hours, they're going to get after it. They're going to play as hard as they can. And then when it's done, they're going to be out in midfield. They'll shake hands. They'll pray together. And at the end of the day, it's all one community. But for these next couple hours, there are not friends on opposite sidelines. They're going to be knocking heads and getting after each other and seeing who's going to come out on top in this rivalry. So let's talk a little bit. Each team have some players they're going to be relying on. For Lynette, everybody knows Elijah Whitfield. He's just a versatile guy. Plays quarterback, wide receiver, defensive back. I'm sure if the coaches needed him to drive the bus home, he could do that. Kewan Green's a really key player for Lynette. He's a running back, a key defensive player. Keonda Hughley's another versatile player, quarterback, handful of other positions. Then when you look at Lafayette, a guy they're really going to be relying on is Malik Burton. He's a big play defensive lineman for Lafayette, and he's also the homecoming king. So congratulations to him. Tay Tolles, a quarterback for Lafayette. And again, it's going to be about more than just one or two guys. For a team to come out on top tonight, it's going to take every single player that steps onto this field doing their job. And it's going to come down to a lot of those kind of cliche things that coaches talk about: winning the turnover battle, avoiding mistakes in special teams, not giving up the big play, not making mental mistakes, avoiding key penalties. The teams that are going to be able to do that, the team that's able to do that is going to come out on top tonight. Let's look at the coaches for both teams. Here at Lafayette, the head coach is Juan Williams. He started his head coaching career here at Lafayette in 2020, and before that he coached at Greensboro for 2 years. He was at Monroe County from 2014 to 2017, and he was at Barber County from 2006 to 2013, and now here he is at Lafayette trying to really get this program going. He led the team to the playoffs his first couple years here. Last year they missed, and they're looking to get back into the playoffs this year. At Lynette, Chip Siegel is the head coach, and at the age of 60, this is his first head coaching job. And how cool is that? He was an assistant coach for 11 years under head coach Clifford Story, and he was a big part of those staffs that won state championships in 2017 and 2019. And, when I talked to Coach Siegel, he was not really looking to be a head coach, but Lynette's a school that means a lot to him. It's kind of his adopted hometown, is how he puts it. It means a lot to him to be here, and I know it means a lot to him to be the head coach at Lynette, and he's really excited. And I know Coach Story was really glad to have somebody like him take over as head coach. And again, he's looking to get Lynette back to the playoffs, and a win tonight would certainly help. Let's look at the series history. It's been kind of dominated by Lynette. Lynette leads the overall series 40-11-1, and Lynette has also won the past 6 games, including last year when Lynette won 45-8. Lafayette's last win in the series when it's 2016, when it beat Lynette 42-16. The longest streaks in the series, Lafayette won 4 in a row from 2002 to 2005. Lynette at one point won 11 in a row from 1946 all the way to 1983. So we're going to see what happens tonight. It's going to be fun. Let's look at some other games in our coverage area. Tonight, a big one over at Ram Stadium with Valley hosting Tallahassee. Valley can actually earn a playoff spot with a win tonight. Valley comes in 4-2 overall and 2-1 in the region, so it's a big game for Valley. Also tonight, Springwood is at home against Stewart County. Springwood is 6-2, and Springwood's coming off a really exciting win last week, 22-20 over Windsor Academy. Also tonight, Chambers Academy is hosting Macon East Montgomery. Chambers Academy is 6-1, and Macon East is 0-7, so you can kind of get a feeling for how that game's going to go. Last night, Thursday night, over in Georgia, Callaway won 47-12. So the Cavaliers remain unbeaten in the region at 3-0, and LaGrange and Troop are actually off this week, and before getting back into their region schedules tomorrow or next week. So, and LaGrange and Troop are both have one loss in the region, and Trinity Christian leads that region with an unbeaten record, and LaGrange and Troop both still play Trinity Christian. So a lot still to be decided in that region leading up to that big showdown on November 3rd between LaGrange and Troop, and I can't wait for that one, and we're going to have some special things going on that night. We'll have the pregame show there, obviously, and we'll be doing some other fun stuff as well. But for now, it's all about Lynette versus Lynette. And you can see the crowd starting to fill in. You can hear the band, and it's going to be so much fun, and I can't wait to see how it plays out. And we'll have highlights here on this channel from this game and the other games in our area. And then afterward, I have a little live reaction video. And so it's going to be a fun night. It's Friday night, and let's get after it. Once again, thank you so much to our sponsors, Nissan of LaGrange, our title sponsor, MOES, Highway 29 Express Lube, Bell Collision Center, and Valley Monument. So once again, thank you, everybody, and good luck to both teams tonight. Hopefully it's a fun game, and we'll see what happens. And if you're here, enjoy the game. Otherwise, we'll keep you updated on everything. And thank you so much. And this has been the BTV Sports pregame show.
It's football season, and we're scoring touchdowns here at Nissan of LaGrange.
Y'all come on down to see us at 1050 Lafayette Parkway.
What's going on, y'all? This is Patrick. I'm over here at NISSAN of LAGRANGE. I'm one of two finance managers. Come on in. We're going to get you approved. We got great rates, great vehicles, great salespeople. We're here to get you done. Let's roll.
Here I am, Quay McQueen down here at Nissan of LaGrange. Man, you know me in the community here. We got in 2023. I'm talking about from your Nissan Rogues to your Versas to your Altimas to your Centrals. Come down here and see us. We got the best deals in town right now.
Where our freshly made, irresistible, mouth-watering flavors make getting good food a good time. Moe's Southwest Grill. Come in for Kids Eat Free Sunday.